What's up, guys and Gaias? This is Desideria, and I'm doing this video today on the demonization of Earth worship. And by the end of this video, I hope you'll be choosing Gaianism instead of Gonism. I want to show you the profound lack of understanding people have about Earth worship in this article put out by The Guardian called Earth Worship is Not Enough by David Cox. Nowadays, some of those unable to acknowledge a creator seem eager to make a cult of creation instead. This should not surprise us. Earth worship, rather than deference to personal gods, is arguably humanity's default religion. The earth, after all, requires no act of faith to validate its existence. The generosity with which it bestows life and livelihood, the awesome wrath with which it inflicts flood and famine, and indeed it controls our destiny, all brook no denial. What's not to worship? What's not to love, fear, and propitiate? Okay, now let's analyze just these first two short paragraphs of this article. First of all, right in the very first sentence, he reveals his disbelief in the divinity of the earth and humans as creators by stating, "Some of those unable to acknowledge a creator seem eager to make a cult of creation instead." We should all know where this indoctrination comes from by now. The popular Christian belief is that we all fall short of the glory of God and everything of earthly origin is inherently sinful. How dare we worship our material world, they say. And he goes on to say that this should not surprise us, because those who have no God go to the default religion he calls earth worship. Wow, are you seeing the disconnect here? We can be sure now that David Cox is a goner. Moving on to the next paragraph, he begins his rant about how believing in the earth requires no faith to validate its existence. But isn't this only because he doesn't view the earth as divine and a physical manifestation of the spiritual? The earth and all its magnificence clearly isn't enough for Mr. Cox. So I would say to you, David, maybe you should get to the root of your own issues so that you can stop demonizing the earth and actually want to be here someday. Mr. Cox paints a picture of a world that is afraid of the earth instead of mankind. This is the great reversal of patriarchy that causes nearly 7 billion people to want to get away instead of naming the real problem that is responsible for thousands of years of unnecessary, unnatural, perpetual death at the hands of men. And now I'm going to read you an excerpt from an article titled Earth Worship, the New World Religion. And it actually says, certainly Christians are called to be good stewards of God's creation, but also Christians must be leery of zealots who seek to replace God's word with creeds of mere human origin in an effort to create a new God deserving of worship, Mother Earth. So right there it's proving my point that they do not believe that the earth is deserving of any kind of venerating or worship at all. It's all about the Gonism. And if you don't know what that is, please go see my video called The Ascension Lie, Gonism. And the link to that video is located in the description below. It goes on to say in the full article from The New American is the documentation of how these Earth summits are being used as a vehicle to destroy historic Christianity and replace it with a humanist religion. This article demonstrates that this Earth Charter signed in late 2002 is a blatant effort to codify this new religion. Thus, Christians can easily see through this thinly veiled effort to subvert God. And if you remember my quote from David Cox, he doesn't see any point in putting faith in things that can be proved. You need to have faith in things that can't be proven. Reading from pantheism.net is called World Pantheism, a religion of nature, earth, Gaia. Is nature the focus of your deepest spiritual feelings? Are you looking for a spirituality or a religion that focuses on nature, on saving the earth, on preserving its habitats and species? World Pantheism is probably the most clearly earth-focused of spiritual religious organizations. Nature is the very heart of our spirituality, which is close to deep ecology, Gaia theory, nature religion, or basic and direct nature worship. The simplest way to sum it up is in Michael Gorbachev's phrase, "Nature is my God." This beautiful planet Earth is our mother and our home. This sacred earth is our ark, and all the plants and animals that live in it are our fellow passengers. That arc is threatened now, and as never before in history, by human actions and inactions. World pantheism focuses on this earth rather than an imaginary realm, on this life rather than an uncertain afterlife. We recognize that our planet, the habitat of all living things, is a delicate network of interacting elements in which rocks, waters, climate, and life all shape each other. This interaction has been described using the metaphor of the Greek earth goddess Gaia. The Gaia theory states that life and the planet co-evolve, and that life to some extent works to make the planet stable enough for life to thrive. Care and concern for Earth is one of world pantheism's central ethical values. The belief statement says, "We are an integral part of nature, which we cherish, revere, and preserve in all its magnificent beauty and diversity. We strive to live in harmony with nature locally and globally. We acknowledge the inherent value of all life, human and non-human, and treat all living beings with compassion and respect." And wow, that sounds so horrible, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like a better idea to worship men and false gods who kill us perpetually instead of the earth that kills us, from natural disasters? Do you realize the comparison of people that die in natural disasters versus people that die every single day at the hands of men, and all the people that die to cancers and diseases that are preventable, that are consequence of human activity, industrialized civilization, patriarchy, genetic modifications, geneticide, and all the other things? Check out my videos to find out more on that. It doesn't seem very absurd to be an earth worshiper, in my opinion. But no, they say, don't worship the earth because it kills you. Okay, let me repeat the real problem once again. Male violence, male domination, male supremacy, and patriarchal religions where God is He is the worst problems in the world. And I came across this other article that really is the kicker. I mean, it really explains to you exactly why there's so much hatred towards earth worship. Let me read you this. Anyone who has studied the global environmental movement has no doubt heard the term Gaia. Gaia is a revival of paganism that rejects Christianity, considers Christianity its biggest enemy, and views the Christian faith as its only obstacle to a global religion centered on Gaia worship and the uniting of all life forms around the goddess of Mother Earth. A cunning mixture of science, paganism, Eastern mysticism, and feminism have made this pagan cult a growing threat to the Christian church. And there you have it. That's the problem. It's not so much that the earth is killing us any more than men are, it's that it's feminist. So let's do a little bit of reading straight from the wiki to see what's been going on over time regarding earth worship. I find it interesting that under popular culture it reads, although the idea of earth religion has been around for thousands of years, it did not fully show up in popular culture until the early 1990s. The X-Files was one of the first nationally broadcast television programs to air witchcraft and Wicca types of earth religion content. And there again, you see the demonization of anything regarding femininity, feminist, Mother Earth is included in that. So please believe that anything that's going to be earth-worshipped religion is going to be absolutely despised by the existing patriarchal religions that exist today. The wiki also states under encompassed religions that the term earth religion encompasses any religion that worships the earth, nature, or fertility gods or goddesses. There is an array of groups and beliefs that fall under earth religion, such as paganism, which is a polytheistic nature-based religion, animism, which is the worldview that all living entities, plants, animals, and humans possess a spirit, Wicca, who hold the concept of an earth mother goddess as well as practice ritual magic, and Druidism, which equates divinity with the natural world. And Wicca specifically is Dianic Wicca that believes in the earth mother goddess and the ritual magic. But you can clearly see here that the demonization of the earth worship is because it is an ancient matriarchal culture. There were fertility gods and goddesses didn't come until much later through venerating actual real people. And the fertility aspect comes from the divine union of man and woman being sacred, and tantra and sacred sexuality, which again Christians have demonized. And to prove my claim of its matriarchal origins, in the wiki it does state origins claimed by earth religion sources. According to Marija Gambutis, pre-Indo-European societies lived in small-scale, family-based communities that practiced matrilineal succession and goddess-centered religion, where creation comes from the woman. She is the divine mother who can give life and take it away. In Irish mythology, she is Danu. In Slavic mythology, she is Zemlai. And in other cultures, she is Pachamama, Ninsun, Terra Mater, Nuwa, Maitris, or Shakti. One thing I certainly agree with is that earth-centered religion or nature worship is a system of religion based on the veneration of natural phenomena. It covers any religion that worships the earth, nature, or fertility gods and goddesses, such as the various forms of goddess worship or matriarchal religion. Some find a connection between earth worship and the Gaia hypothesis. Earth religions are also formulated to allow one to utilize the knowledge of preserving the earth. And again, of course that doesn't sound so bad, but they're demonizing it because of its attachment with goddess worship and matriarchal religion. If you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. Again, connect the damn dots.
I'm like this, ahead of my peers. Want some, you can come bring it right here. Can't clown me.